time to do the new... Where the hell am I?
This is the new Marlee Paranormal News Studio.
Oh, well. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I can work with this. Fresh new studio. Right on. Yeah. Show must be doing pretty good. Must be raking in the bucks. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Getting up there, West.
Actually, you haven't earned a cent since you started your YouTube channel.
Oh, well. Well, that's not really what it's about anyways. It's about the truth. It's about the news. It's about Paranormal Weekly.
You suck. You're not even a real news reporter.
Shut up! Who asked you? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paranormal Weekly. From Marlee Paranormal, this is Wesley Marquis. Paranormal Weekly is the show that keeps you in the loop of the week's top paranormal news stories, and let's get to the first one. UFO investigators are hoping to get their hands on a treasure trove of classified documents made by the Pentagon on UFOs and other weird flying phenomenon. Now, the government is confirming that there was a UFO program, but as of yet, the Pentagon has yet to release any of the documents. And last October, Luis Estrada, I can't pronounce his name, it'll be in the link, but he confirmed that he had actually been working on a secret project, let me talk here, on UFOs, and that he was working under the Pentagon. So this is very interesting. A lot of people wanting to get their hands on this information. I'm going to link that story, like I said, in the description, so make sure you check that out. It is a very interesting story, and check it out. Now, as many of you know, the late Dr. Jesse Marcel, was part of one of the team that actually went to go and investigate the Roswell case. Now, he brought home some debris from that crash site with him. Now, on that debris, there were some hieroglyphics, and it's believed that those hieroglyphics may have been somewhat deciphered. According to one authority, they appear to be flight plans or some kind of flight instructions, kind of like you would find on any other kind of device that you need information on. So I'm going to link that story in the description. It's also a really good story. Check that out. Roswell case has been something that's been on the top of the minds of a lot of people who are interested in UFOs, and this could lead us to a little bit more information on the systems of how UFOs work and everything. Maybe not. It's not exactly clear exactly what it's saying. It seems to suggest some kind of propulsion system, something like that. Some kind of electromagnetic system seems to be the case. It's kind of hard to say, but go take a look at the article and make your own decisions from that. Now, here is an interesting story. So, as you know, the royal couple, Harry and Meghan, are going to be getting married soon. But the thing is that the house that they're going to be moving into, the house that's actually being gifted to them by the Queen, may actually be haunted. Now, can you believe that? The house could very well be haunted. It's an old house dating back to the 1700s, and they're believing that they could see something. Other people have supposedly witnessed things there. And also regarding spirits, a couple of psychics, I can't remember their names off the top of their head, but I do know that they label themselves as the Nostradamus in heels. So they're saying that Princess Diana is planning on attending the royal wedding just as she has done for her other children. So, now, how reliable are these psychics? I don't know, but it's all in the same article over on Mysterious Universe. Gonna link that in the description. And right now, let's take you over to John Johan. Sorry? Just a second. Not John Johan. The Commandant. Sorry, my mistake. We are not taking you to John Johan. We are actually going to be taking you to the Commandant. The Commandant, folks. Let's get to it. Actually, I guess we could put it on that TV there. Be right back. I need that.
Ah, thank you, Wes. Just like to show everybody before we all begin. My favorite mug. This is my new favorite mug. John and I had a fight to the death over it, and I won. Now you have shared custody. You have to wash it after each use. So here's to you. Irish Steve-O, thank you so much. Well, let's get to the bloody reason y'all came here to see me in the first place. Just give me a minute. So I told you I carry the illness forward for every single one of you. That's my job. So now listen up, you lily-livered swine. Listen up close. This is what I gotta say to you. Now, from the Syracuse News Times in Syracuse, New York, by Cheryl Costa. UFOs, paranormal conferences, are they obsolete? Well, in a nutshell, yes. I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to carry the illness forward for all of you, and I'll tell you what the illness is regarding these conferences. You're going to have the same people. And I'm almost quoting C.W. Chanter. Now, you don't know who C.W. Chanter is. Look him up on YouTube. He's every day. Now, he's made a great point, and I'd like to quote his illustrious point in a paraphrase, if I may. Now, it doesn't matter who they discredit. It doesn't matter what's going on. People at these conferences, they show up, and people still make references to Bob Lazar, who's been thoroughly discredited, thoroughly debunked, and other people like that as well. Now, everybody's on the Dr. Stephen Greer bandwagon, and thoroughly, you can't tell, you know. People are still crooning to the Blue Avians, whatever the hell they are. People think that there's some, galactic council. I'm sorry if I'm offending your beliefs. Some Palladian galactic council. And these people, And so what it does is it gets butts in seats. This is the whole notion for the entire paranormal, these conferences, is it gets butts in seats. And the new thing is what sells. What everybody else is obsessed about. That's what sells. What you feel is important, whether that's watching David Icke for 8 hours speak, or going to a conference and watching 60 people speak. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You may meet friends, but you're there to buy merchandise, you're there to take photos with celebrities, you're there to do all sorts of things. But it's not what... You're there to part with your money. And then listen to people tell you tales. Things you want to hear, things you choose to hear. It's what you want to believe. Because in the end, we're all a slave. what they want us to believe. Now, I can't sit here and tell you what you want me to tell you. My opinions are different than yours. That's why you can go to hell and I'll sit here. I do. Article number 2. Notice that most of these are opinionated. And this is my corner of the news, and I'll do whatever the hell I want. Now, as Wes from Marlee Paranormal has already covered the death of paranormal legend and radio giant and personal hero and inspiration of mine, one of them, passed away at his home at age 72 in Pahrump, Nevada, on April the 15th, Friday the 13th. Oh, sorry, April 13th, Friday the 13th. After the show took off in 1993. This is a tough one for me because I really, really did love Art Bell. You'll hear why in a moment. Thank you. After the show took off in 93, it developed a cult-like following. To its end, Bell went in and out of retirement and created other shows, including Dreamlands, which my own grandmother would allow me to stay up late and listen to that show on the radio when I visited her home and stayed there over the weekend as a child. My obsession with UFOs began when I was 5 years old, merely in the Greys and all that. Anyways, so I enjoyed his many topical programs, including his Halloween shows titled Ghost to Ghost AM, and was actually binge listening to the many years of programs in about 3 weeks to a month before he actually passed away. Just untimely death, as I say. I believe current host of the show, George Dory, his words summed it all up, and I'll quote: Art was a legend, a radio icon who went against the grain and developed an amazing show. His impact on my life is beyond words. He will be missed, but I know Art is on another journey. So everybody, there's one for Art Bell. Definitely spinning some of the questions and some of the answers to the questions that all of us ponder on a daily basis. Here's to you, Art. Now, what do we got here? Pentagon's former UFO hunter, Luis Elizondo. New York Times published detailed report on Pentagon man who researched and supposedly defunct program just days after the New York Times released men who led the initiative is speaking out. Quote, my personal belief is that there are as compelling widespread evidence that we are not alone, Elizondo said. Elizondo claimed to have run the U.S. Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program from 2007 to 2012, where he, quote, no longer works for the U.S. government. Bullshit. I believe this man is a fake whistleblower. I truly do. Let's go and tell Bro Shill. I do believe he's probably employed by Serco, which John has broadcasted on one of the last podcasts, I do believe, of Beyond the Beyond. A very interesting show if you go back and listen to it. So my response is be hostile to this man. Be very hostile. Don't take everybody at face value. Research. Do all your research. Don't take everything somebody says at face value. Never do. Say thank you for that, you know? If you don't know something and somebody comes over and they say, here's what I know, you don't say, bullshit, that's not true. You say, I didn't know that. Let them explain it to you. Makes you much better. So, those are the articles today. Now, my opinionated pieces. My opinionated pieces now. That's just the way things go. My paranormal world will never guarantee answers. Just like with religion, just like with anything, there's never a guarantee. We will truly never know. Perhaps in our lifetimes, no matter how much work that people do to good people. Good people in the ITC area. We all know the bad people. We're all aware of them and what their snake oils do and everything else, and we don't need to care about that. Screw those idiots. Be hostile. Or don't speak out at all. Just leave them be. In my opinion, show them up. Get them out. Roust them out. Get rid of the bastards. Those lily-livered fake swine. They're no good. They're no good for nothing. Useless tits. That's all they are. It's tits. Suckling off other people's donations. E-begging. Taking things and overcharging. Selling them to these people. It's worse than e-begging. It's fraud. It's fraud. But because it's a legitimate legal transaction, they have no recourse to get their money back. So beware, people. Beware. Take the advice that I give to you. And just always remember, be safe. Beware. And God damn it, grow a backbone. You won't get anywhere in life just taking coffee orders for other people and doing other people's bidding while they take lunch and waste serious people's time. You won't. You must get in there. You must work. You must develop. You must continue to create. If you can do that, we can have open to such a much better world. We're already beginning to break down those barriers. We're already beginning to get rid of the political idiocy. I know it's still a shit show, but I promise you everything will correct itself in the end, as things always do. We needn't concern ourselves with this yet. It's not impacting us on our front door. So let the legislators figure out their job. I know they're all a bunch of idiots. And many of them are pederasts, and some of them are satanic pederasts. Not all of them are. You have to remember that. You also have to remember, sometimes you must listen and watch the opinions of people who may make you want your teeth to crack and smash open. And like you lose them because you're so angry at what you're listening to, but at least you know the counterpoint's narrative. Always remember that. Don't just stay in one camp with only one opinion. Get out there, learn, challenge yourself. If you don't do that, you're just a fucking goldfish swimming there with a 30-second memory span. Anyways, that's the Commandant's call. And that was my advice. Back to you, Wes. Signing off.
Alright folks, that does it for this week's edition of Paranormal Weekly. Thanks so much to the Commandant for gracing us with his presence again. He will be coming back again for some commentary pieces. And that does it for this week's edition of Paranormal Weekly. Remember to stay true, keep believing, and I'll see you in the comments.